Hi and welcome, it's Ruth here at Artful Stampin. Yes, you can see a table full of scraps in front of me. I have been playing around with some of the gorgeous papers that are free during celebration, and I love how that Stampin' Up have designed these ones that are really easy to cut out and use kind of like decoupage or paper piecing, putting things together. Now, I did see in the celebration catalogue there was a really lovely sample of a card where someone had obviously cut out different elements of the flowers and then kind of like built them up. So I really want to have a go at doing that. Just want to use up some of these scraps that are in front of me as well, and got some of the it's got some little pieces of paper here because I did a class using these papers, and these were kind of the offcuts from there. So let's have a look at what is usable here. We've got some strips of Blushing Bride, some pieces of Calypso Coral, a strip of that with floral on it, and got some more pieces of that. So that's the two sides to that one. Just dropped one, oops. And then we have some of the pieces of this one. Oh, that's quite a big piece, so I might use that as a kind of background or focal point. And then we've got these other kind of strips. Now some of these are a similar length, so it might be that I want to use those as a bit of a background to something. Then I do have a piece of Old Olive here, and various other offcuts and layout pieces. So where do I get started? I probably could do with a card base, so I'll grab this one that I've got here. This is soft seafoam, and it's got a bit of a mark on it, so I think I'll just try and use this up, get it covered so that you don't really notice that mark. So I'm wondering if I could stick 3 panels like so. You see, I'm really fancying doing a square, bit more of a square card, because I think that would fit better. Oh, okay. I'll cut into another piece of card. I mean, why am I complaining? You know, sometimes it's worth it for the overall effect, isn't it? So I'm going to make a square card, decided. So I'm just going to score and cut this into half. So I'm going to cut this at 14.5 centimetres, which is about 5 3/4 inches. That gives me a piece for doing something else. And I'm just going to score that, give that a fold quickly, and cut that there. Sorry, I know some of you who've been making cards for years are like, Ruth, you're teaching your granny to suck eggs. But you know, some of you are new to card making and, you know, might wonder how to make a square fold card. There we go. That's how you do it out of an A4 piece of cardstock. Right, let's have another go, because I want to use all the elements. Yeah, I don't really want to have to cut that down too much, although I will. It feels like it just needs a little bit of a trim. I know what, you know what, I'm going to, rather than trim it, I'm just going to tear it to create an interesting edge. That's a bit more interesting, isn't it? All right. So if you've ever got a bit of extra and you're into that kind of shabby chic look, tearing is just great for that kind of thing. Right, I'm going to put these in the bin. Okay, let's have a look. I like that. Now, I wouldn't mind creating a bit of a backdrop for some of these cut out florals. I've got one of the peachy ones here, and I thought I did have another peach one, but I could be wrong. It might be that I just got the purple ones cut out. Oh, I was so sure I had another peach one. Oh, maybe not. Okay. We'll go with the purple, seeing as that's what I've got. So, could we make use of some of this green? maybe putting, see what side to that one. Have I got another one? Oh, yay, that's better. Okay, that would fit better. And then we'll start playing with the flowers and layering the flowers up. Right, let's get this stuck down. So I want to actually create more texture with these. So before I stick them down, I'm just going to give these a bit of a, I don't know what that is, a bit of a bend over. I might even get my scissors and do a little bit of distressing with my scissors. Just rough the edges up a little bit. I'm being rather careful because sometimes when I do this I tend to tear the paper, or I almost, what's the word I want? I cut the paper. I'm trying to find the right word. Yeah, see, like that. It's very easy to just kind of cut down quite heavily into it. So you just have to be careful. Oh, see, did it again. But anyway, if that happens, I just tend to make it part of the pattern. So I'm pre-recording this video because I anticipate I've got a few busy weeks, and I thought it'd be nice for me just to have a spare video in case I can't go live. So I probably will have premiered this video. So if you're watching this while it's premiering, hello. Thank you for joining, and thank you everybody who kind of joins in the chat. It's much appreciated. It makes the community very vibrant and happy and loving as well, because I know some of you guys kind of have become friends and you chat to each other. That's really awesome. So I love the fact that the Artful Stampin community has got bigger than whatever I ever dreamed, and it's gone beyond me, which is, you know, really super, because you know, it's not about me, it's about you guys connecting, socializing and so forth, which is really fun. Right, those are those pieces that I want to bring back. Now these, I'm feeling like I want to mount those just to kind of give them a bit more sturdiness. And I don't, oh, actually, I don't know whether to mount them onto that, just to create a softer look. Oh, not sure. Oh, actually, I've got a panel here that, oh no, that's not it. Ooh, do I go for that one or that one? Or do I go for something different? No. What about some of this calypso that I've got left over? I've got a panel of that. Ooh, and I've got a bit of that. Okay, let's go with that. So let me just measure what this is. This was an offcut, so I really don't know what this measures. So it's just under 3 centimeters by 10. So what is it under 3? Okay, it's about 3 millimeters under 3. Okay, let's put that at 3 then. Nope. Stay. Okay. And then I just want a really fine edge on there. So I'm kind of holding that onto there just to see where I need to cut it, because I really don't want too much of an edge. That'll do. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Where's that other panel gone? Oh, no, you were here a minute ago. Don't do this to me. Don't disappear. That one. Was it that one? Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, that one actually needs cutting down. Okay. Oh, that's even less. Okay. That's okay. this is all about using the scraps up, so it's not about it being exactly the, you know, items being exactly the same. Ooh, now I've cut that too small, so I need to cut a bit off that. Okay. It's all about just eyeballing it, and you know what, I'm at a point where I just want to use the scissors, I think. Just going to do that. Okay. Yep, that'll do. Not faffing for too long on this. Get that stuck down. I think I might just rough up the edges of this Calypso coral just to make it a bit more grainy. I mean, I think the great thing about doing shabby chic or, you know, rustic looking stuff is that it's okay if it goes a little bit awry, because that's the style of it. Doesn't matter if you get a bit of an ink smudge, because, you know, you can just say it was meant to be that way. And hopefully takes the pressure out of perfection crafting. We can't have perfection crafting. Okay, so that will go there and there. Just thought, I've got these little strips of the petal pink. Might be a fun sort of little architectural element just to have those. And oh, I've got a piece of this as well. Just going to stick it on because I've got it here. Okay. No real rhyme or reason, just may as well put it on. As long as it's straight, it'll be fine, she says. Okay. And to be honest, this piece of card has even got score marks in it, but I think it's all going to get covered up, so no one's going to know. Oh, there's a Calypso coral one. Why not? Oh, I forgot to tear that one, but hey. Okay. This is a great way to use up those little fine strips, just to add a little bit of extra detail. All right, so I've got that. I need to cut another little strip. Have I got another little strip? No? Okay. So I think I'm going to use dimensionals to stick that down with. I did have a little, oh, here they are. I did have some here, and I'm going to use the edge pieces for that. So the day I'm filming this, I'll just tell you what happened to me today. I mean, it'll be in the past by the time you guys see this, but I returned from a class. Oh, wrong one. I returned from a class and Tom had come to pick me up, pick my bags and stuff up, but he was like, he had to rush off somewhere else, so I stayed in town, and then I had to pop to the wool shop as well, because May has really got into crocheting Harry Potter scarves and she was running out of the colour that she needed. So I returned home later, knocked on the front door, and I assumed, and no one answered, and I just assumed that May had gone out with Tom. So because I went to the back door and the back door was locked as well. So then I thought, oh, what am I going to do? So I started to try and tidy the garden a little bit. And I found I have this sort of like metal mesh tray thing, and I must have over Christmas, because we'd had this sort of decorative pumpkin, this is like pumpkin, and it'd gone off in the metal tray. So I thought, oh, I'm just going to go and dump it. And across from where I live is just this kind of like grassy verge where there's just like trees and stuff. So and it's often if I have flowers in a vase, I go and dump the flowers over there, because I figured that, you know, it's just going to biodegrade down and it'll be fine. So then as I threw this pumpkin, it kind of like fell apart, and some of it fell on the road. And I was like, no, I didn't want it to do that. I wanted it to be all in the kind of the grassy area, so that it was, you know. So I then went and got a little trowel and kind of like went and scooped it up. And then I realised that because there are so many trees by that side of the street, over the last year or two, what has happened is as the trees have all... Oh, there's the peachy ones. You see, I'm wondering whether just to go with the peachy ones for this card, because I've gone all peachy with the background. Over the last few years, where the leaves from the tree fall down, they've kind of like accumulated and become really quite messy, and, you know, obviously they've turned into soil because, you know, trees melt down to mulch and then sort of turn into compost, and it's become really muddy on that side of the street. So whenever we have visitors who come park their car there, they're having to, like, you know, if they're on the wrong side of the car, they end up having to step into mud, which I don't think is very attractive. So I decided I'd get out the spade in my garden and start shoveling this mud away or back onto the grass verge. Well, of course, Tom had gone somewhere and ended up chatting for a bit longer. So I felt like I was probably out there for about an hour shoveling this kind of leafy, gloopy, muddy stuff off the street into the grass. Anyway, my back is now telling the tale, so I'm trying to sit up very straight so that I don't make it worse. And I think tomorrow morning when I wake up, my back will be protesting. But anyway, it was so worth it. It looks so much better now. And ooh, look, I'm kind of like using that section there. I'm going to hide the fact that there's nothing under there. And that one there. I'm going to hide that there. I will just trim that one off though, because I don't need that one. This is a great thing about when you're using these papers. Even if you haven't got a completely whole one, you can kind of like fake it sometimes. Oh, look. That one can sort of merge with that one. Have I got anything else that I can stick under there? No, that's fine. I did cut myself a few little leaves out because there were some spare leaves. Oh, now I do have some soft seafoam ribbon here, and I'm wondering whether if I make myself a nice big loopy bow with this and tuck that under. All right. Yep. Oh, come on. Oh no, that's too far. Okay, let's do that. Okay, the idea is just to have it kind of folded over anyway, so. Sometimes you just got to tell ribbon exactly where you want it. Oh, that's cute. Oh, I like that. Right, this, I think I'm just going to trim that black edge off a bit more, because I don't feel like I necessarily need to have the black edge. Oh, I'm severely going in there and editing. Look at that. This is a severe fussy cut. Getting rid of all that edge. All right, I'm going to go and do that and then come back. Right, so I've cut a little bit more of the black off the edges of there because I didn't feel I actually needed it on there. So let's have a think of how to form this, because I kind of wanted that leaf down there, not up there as well. Might make this a bit smaller. Oop. There we go. It's amazing what you can kind of hide and fake by popping different elements together. Oh, I've got a sticky bit on my finger. Ooh, weird. Okay. I was like, what are things sticking to my finger? Right. So that's going to go there. That's going to go there. I think I may need to get some dimensionals just to build that all up again. And pop that there. Okay, right. I'm going to stick this bit down with glue. Get my dimensionals out. Oh, I'll stick this one down first. Stick that there. Stick a bit of that there. Okay. Then because this section is slightly higher up already, I'm just going to put a dimensional there just to hold up the piece that I'm going to put on top of there. So I want to pop that on there. So 2 more dimensionales. Okay, stick that on there. And then I've got this sort of weird straight bit here that I kind of want to cover up. So I'm thinking, let's put that one on there. And again, get the dimensionals out and layer it up. Love a bit of layer. Is it Laura Basson says? Is it layering is life or colour is life? Oh, I don't know. One of those. Dimension is life, that's what she says. All right, so I've got this weird leafy thing happening here, which I'm not very happy about. I'm wondering whether I've got like a spare leaf that I can... Ah, there we go. Look, I cut that off another piece. That looks better. Just looked a bit funky. Didn't look quite right, did it? Right, I'm just going to give that a little bit of a curl. Pop a dimensional on there. Lift that up. Scoop that in. Yay! All right. So I still want to scoop this in somewhere. And I'm wondering if I lift that up, because there's a knot that's quite thick there. So if I pop that in between those 2 panels, there's a little bit of a gap in there. So it makes sense for that to go into there. So I'll put some glue dots on the ribbon. Then tuck that into there. Oop. No, don't stick down just yet. And then I'll stick you there. Pretty. I haven't decided whether to put a sentiment, but I'm here I think would be a perfect spot for a sentiment, wouldn't it? So I did have on my desk, I did have a stamp set. No, have I moved it? I think I may have done. I'm going to go and grab it. So here I have Beautifully Happy, which just has some really cute sentiments. Sending happy thoughts. Should we go with that one? Sending happy thoughts. Oh, look, I've got this tiny piece of Blushing Bride here. So I think I'll just stamp that with a bit of Mossy Meadow, because the Mossy Meadow fits in with that green there. Beautiful. Put that away. Just going to do a little bit of fussy. This is a really kind of fussy cutting heavy card, but you know what? Sometimes you're in the mood for a bit of fussy cutting. It kind of makes Makes it worth it. Especially when it highlights sentiment like this. And actually this is not the worst sentiment to cut out because it has quite a few straight edges to it. So this is not terrible. Sending happy thoughts. Although I think I just want to round off that edge, that little corner a little bit there. And I've just seen I have a tiny piece of vellum to the side of me, and I was thinking, what about double mounting it and then cutting it out again? Ooh, pushing the boat out here, Ruth. I don't think I've done this for ages. A double mount sentiment. Ooh, you saw it here, guys. Don't fall off your rocking chairs. I'm just picturing someone on their veranda, on their rocking chair. Mind you, it's probably not the weather for that at the moment, if you're watching this when I release it. Unless, of course, you're in the South Pacific, where it's lovely and warm. Might be a bit wet, but it's warm. All right. Okay, what a pretty vellum layer. I like that. Oh, I'm thinking, where else can I put vellum? What about some vellum dragonflies? Might just do that. Before I do though, I'm just going to pop this up. Now you're probably thinking, Ruth, why are you using black dimensionals? Because they're on my desk, okay? Sometimes things just get used because they are on my desk. But with the darker, having a darker card, I do like using the black dimensionals. They seem to hide better. Ew, I like that. I'm just going to do a bit of tweaking with my edges here. Just give them a little bit of a squish down. Make them look a little bit more shabby. There we go. I like that. All right, moving on. There's one more I want to do because as I said, I've cut out these purple flowers that I really want to use. And so I've got that one, and that one. Then I cut out that one, and I've got that middle. And I want to build it up using dimensionals, you know, have them layered. So we've got purple there. Now, would it be too much to have the peach in the background? I think it's quite busy, isn't it? It's probably a bit too much. So we could go for having the green instead. Look, I've got 3 pieces. Ooh, 4 if you count that one. What have I got here? So I want to keep that for doing something else with. Oh, look, that fits perfectly. I know I stuck that one wrong earlier, didn't I? So that could stick onto. I'm just going to stick this on while I think about it because otherwise I'll end up using it for something else. Oh, stay. I'm wondering what if I mount that onto there. I'm just going to do it, you know. I'll grab a card base in a second to stick these on. Okay, that's a nice little matting layer. Ooh, look, I can add. Oh gosh, I'm getting distracted. I'm just going to get on and do this now. That's fun. So let's just make sure everything's squared and aligned. Yep. got another piece here that I could use. Ooh, that vellum wants to have a bit of a look in. It's a fun way of just building up some layers. And using up your scraps. These are literally all the offcuts that are on my desk that I'm gluing on here. This grid paper is really helping me. What's that fibre on there? Okay. Right, I'm just layering that up, lining that up with that line on that grid paper, just to make my life a bit easier when it comes to lining it up. It's kind of aligned. Might be going a little bit wonky. Now, will that fit onto a card base? Ooh, that's not too bad, is it? Okay, I just need to trim that off, but that fits perfectly. Right, good old nail trick, just to tell me where to cut that off. Ooh, that worked well. So all I need is maybe like a butterfly or something, a focal point here, and then that'll do. Or I could even just do a sentiment like on there. I really love how sort of Asian this looks, how Japanese this looks. I think it's with the geometric pattern mixed with the floral. I'd love that. Then I just do that on there. I could just stamp a sentiment onto this section here and be done. Right, let's bring that back in. Okay. Ooh. I don't know, maybe the ribbon's trying to get a look in as well. Oh, I love how this turned out. And this was just from all the little pieces that were left over on my desk. Okay, so I'm trying to make sure there's a little border of the soft sea foam going all the way around. Oh, look, I managed to get ink on there. Dear. I might have to stick that on there now. Yeah, that's going to have to be there now because I got ink on it. So it goes sometimes. So snippety snip. All right, I'm just going to set that one to one side. Come back to this one. And I'm wondering actually if I cut these, whether to do a bit of a basket weave background. That's just come to me now. These are all a similar width. So I'm just gonna, I think these were what, 3.5. So if I go to 1 3/4, those are a bit of a cut. This one's a bit thinner. Just under 3, so about 1 1/4. All right, let's get a dark background, or even a old olive. I was wondering if I could do a bit of a no, not those ones. Kind of like a weaving, really. No, not sure about that. Start again. What if we just stick those kind of a bit random across there? That will do, I think. And or go around them that way. No, the other way. Right, I'm just going to stick. Just do it, Ruth. Stop your faffing. Try not to do the same angle each time. Okay, so I've got that piece that I think would look nice on there. That piece that would look nice on there. Oh, no, I've got 2 pieces. Got that one. Oh, then I've got that one. Then I've got some middle sections. And I think I just need to cut out that one. So before I assemble this, I just want to put a little bit... Oh, there's another leaf there. I want to put a little bit of a curl onto these. So another way you can do it is you get your Tombow glue and you can put that in the palm of your hand and give that a bit of a curl up like that so it sticks out. Do the same to the big one. Just because it's a big one doesn't mean you need to ignore it. You can put some dimension into that. Nice. So I'm very tempted just to cut these leaves off and just use them a bit later how I want to use them, because just because they're there in the paper doesn't mean you necessarily have to use them because that way. Okay. Okay. So you see how the curl is all happening there? That one's going to have 3. I could just pop this last one on here. Curl that up a bit. Get the dimensionals. Ooh, I'm looking forward to seeing how these look with all their layers on. So obviously it will be quite a layered card, so if you're putting this in the post, just double check to see if you need large letter. I have a handy little wooden gadget that I put my envelopes through just to double check, so I know what postage to put on them. Okay, there we go, see the dimension on that. Now I know that flower and that flower don't really match, but it doesn't matter. We're creating our own flowers here. Put that on there. So I've got a bit of a flat edge there, so I want to hide that. And actually, if you really wanted to change the sort of shape of a flower, you could actually cut off some of the petals. I just wanted to make this one a bit smaller. And then we've got all those lovely leaves that can be tucked in. But first of all, I'm just going to stick this down. I wonder whether to put some ribbon. So I'm going to tie a double bow. So one there. Now if you want your bows to remain kind of like quite curved, don't pinch and pull. Always put your fingers inside and pull it outwards. I'm just going to loop again. Yep. Go on, go on. It's nice to have a little play sometimes with bows, just to get them how you want them to be. I'm thinking if I, oops, oh dear, what am I putting here? If I pop that in the middle there, and then do a flower either side of it, I've then got those lovely loops coming out. Glue dots at the ready. One there. I will put more, but I'm just trying to figure out where to put them. So I think I want that loop going that way. You do sometimes have to tell the ribbon exactly where you want it to go, because it has a little bit of a mind of its own. So this is where the glue dots are really useful, and the fact that they're clear means you can put it behind this kind of quite sheer ribbon, this soft seafoam. Now I can't remember if this is still available, so I'm really sorry if it isn't, but if you like this sort of softness, whenever you see Stampin' Up! A selling seam binding ribbon, get it. All right, let's pop that one there. Good bit of glue. I'm going to hold that down for a few seconds. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've just realised that that was actually meant to just pop under there. So I'll get some glue on there. I'm just going to tuck that under there. Right. Sing a song, sing a song. Oh, there used to be a famous song called that, wasn't there? Sing, sing a song. Sing out loud. Sing out strong. Ooh, just found another one of those. Sing of happy, not sad. Sorry, it's a long time since I've sung that song. Right, leaves, leafages. Where can we tuck these? Do one there. Okay, I'll cut that off. Give that a little bit of a curl, like so. Get some glue. Tuckety tuck. Get in there and give it a good push down. Same with, oh, there's another one. I'm going to cut that up there. Oh, nice. That'll fit nicely. This one's still got its black borders. I'm just going to trim that off. Don't get too worried about having to follow the lines. There's another one there as well. Just going to cut that off. Okay. I actually quite like this blank space here, but I may just get a pen and just do some fake stitch marks along the edge of it, just to make it look more intentional. Right, so I'm looking on my desk to see, is there anything else I can use? Like, I'm really down to like the bare bits and pieces now. Yeah, no. I think I am done with, yeah, there's only like the tiniest elements there. I mean, what I could do is use these just to decorate the inside of the card. So that's quite fun to do if you've got little elements left over. Just decorate. Stick that in there. I'll give that a bit of a tear. Okay, I think I'm down to the last dregs. So I'm just going to grab a Mossy Meadow Stampin' Right marker I have here, and to kind of mimic a little bit of the lines that we have in the paper, but also just to kind of frame it a bit more, I'm just going to put faux kind of like stitch lines across here. And they're not equal sizes. It's like they've been hand stitched by a 6-year-old. It's part of the charm of it, isn't it? Well, I say 6-year-old just because I was quite crafty at 6, so I think I was sewing at 6. I remember having, when I went to primary school, when I was about 9 or 10 years old, we did this very 70s looking sewing project made up of stitches and circles, and I think the teacher that taught the same project every year. I think everybody did it, but it was a way of kind of getting to know stitches. think I found it quite boring. I think I would probably enjoy it more now. All right. Ah, I like that. That's so much fun. I love all this texture. I'm not even going to bother putting a sentiment on that because I don't think it really needs it. And then you've got all that fun detail on the inside. Right, so we've made 3 cards out of the scraps that were on my table. And just a tip for whenever you perhaps open a pack of papers and you cut into it, try and keep all the bits and pieces together, maybe in a plastic bag, and you can then sort of pull out that whole bag and you've got matching items. Also keep any cardstock that any scraps of cardstock that match the papers, because yeah, you never know what might come of it. So here we have, this is the first one on a square card. So this measures 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 or 14.5 by 14.5 centimeters. And we use 3 panels in the background, then put 2 more panels there, and then cut out some of those gorgeous flowers and decoupage them on. Use that seam binding ribbon, which I'm so sorry if it is out of stock now, but you should have got it at the time if you knew about it. Which I do say from time to time. If you love something, grab it while it's in stock. So this is a second card, this was the Happy Accident card. I had that panel, and then I've just added all the little bits and pieces that were around on my table. Just kept adding and adding and adding to it. Now, of course, you could put an extra embellishment on there if you fancied, putting a butterfly or something somewhere, or some little trinkets. Oh, there are some gold butterfly little things. That would be nice, wouldn't it? And here's the last one. So I really wanted to try that technique of cutting out the flowers and seeing how they all layered up. And just to kind of, all I needed was that simple background, having green on green on green, to make that purple really show up. So that's really fun. So thank you so much for joining me today and watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it and that you've picked up some fun techniques along the way that you can incorporate into your own card making. Thank you for subscribing if you have already. If you haven't, please do. There's no obligation. It just means that you can find me again very easily, and YouTube gets to kind of know what you like watching as well. And if you need anything, please email me, ruthtrice@gmail.com. In my description box down, if you look below this video in the description, there's lots of links to my Stampin' Up shop where you can purchase some of the products you've seen me use today. And also there's information about how to join if you have got a wish list as long as your arm, and you fancy a good load of Stampin' Up products, and it's really worth you signing up to get the discount. So there we go. Plus, currently during celebration, so January and February 2023, you can earn the papers, these papers that I use, these pretty papers that I used, completely free when you spend £45. So, all good stuff. Take care for now, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. See you again soon. Bye.